This is Andi Purewal for Boxing News. I'm joined by Fabio Wardley in his hometown of Ipswich. Fabio, you're days away from the biggest fight of your career so far. A stadium fight that Mr. Eddie Hearn couldn't ring for you. Instead, Mr. Frank Warren has. Before we come on to all that good talk, how are you feeling? How's this week been so far?
Yeah, look, feeling great. It's been a really nice, chilled, relaxed week, to be honest. It's a bit of a funny feeling, funny vibe to being in my hometown with all these events going off. Having all you guys make the trip down to Ipswich is very interesting. But yeah, it's been a good week.
Only the 4.5 hours on the train to me, Fabio, just for you.
Yeah, I'm hearing some of the journeys people have had to make, and I think they were quite surprised as to where Ipswich actually was on the map. I don't think maybe they checked it beforehand.
Fabio, this is a fight you've wanted for a long time in your career. You wanted to bring a big show back to Ipswich. How much of a surprise to you, even at this stage in your career, you're able to do so at Portman Road? You could have done it at maybe, I don't know if there's maybe a smaller arena or something nearby, but you're going straight to the football ground.
Yeah, look, we wanted to go big, and that was another part as to why I said if we do get the call, get the opportunity, get the chance to come here, I don't want to do it just for the sake of doing it. I want a good high-level operator, a good competitor, and like something on the line in terms of the interim world title and things like that as well. I want it, the whole story of it, the whole event of it, to be big. I don't just want to do it because it's there and we can just kind of pass it off. I wanted it to be memorable in that sense, and all of those things have thankfully fallen into place.
I'm sure you've had a few trips to the stadium just to kind of have it run through to you as to how your ring walk's going to look, how the event's going to be set up. But what's it like when you try and imagine the entire scenario and you try to ensure that you don't become overwhelmed or you don't let kind of feelings and thoughts and emotions overcome you come fight night?
Yeah, look, I'm just gonna sit back and enjoy it. I'm not sat there in my head thinking about it, how it's all gonna go, how it's all might play out. I just want to experience it fresh and on its own. I want to be stood there at the edge of my ring walk and just be able to step out and soak it all up for the first time in a sense. I just want to take it in for what it is. It's going to be a fantastic night.
Despite obviously, for whatever yourself, Frank and your team have said that it isn't just a case of you having power, Justis Huni and his team continue to say that they will bring a boxing lesson. His exact words today, Justis said to you, you're in for a boxing lesson. What do you make when he goes into this fight with that attitude, believing that he will just show you one or two things that maybe you haven't experienced previously in the ring?
Yeah, I don't know if there's too much left in a boxing ring for me to experience that I haven't yet. There's not a really long list of that. I've been seen and done a lot of it. I've heard the line of "you're going to give me a boxing lesson" and stuff many a times over as well. And yeah, I'm yet to be taught a boxing lesson. I'm usually the one dishing them out in one sense or another. So. His team, their confidence, look, it's something we as a team added to us picking him, really, because we wanted someone who's going to turn up, believe in the self-speed game, not just roll over. So I want him to turn up and get stuck in, but yeah, this is a step too far for him.
Are you putting that added pressure on your own shoulders because this is your hometown to get one of those highlight reel knockouts that we've been used to seeing throughout your career so far? Yeah,
look, I'm not gonna be silly in the sense of trying to wing these massive hooks or looping shots in from the off. There is a game plan in place. There is tactics there. There is a way to set things up. I've shown that and proved that previously. But ultimately, if the opportunity is there and I see the shot, I'm not going to hang around. I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to say, oh, it's only the first round. It's the second round. I better wait. I'm going to take my opportunity. And once I have someone go and have them hurt a bit, I don't let them up either.
To my knowledge, tickets have gone very well, Fabio, and it's always good for boxing, especially here in the UK, to have big ticket sellers. So do you feel like a successful night on Saturday night, there will really be a big target on your back and a lot of people will be hunting you down, especially with that interim title potentially around your waist? Yeah,
look, I welcome all comers. If people want to start shouting about me, calling my name out because of the successful things I'm achieving, then fantastic. It's even better. I've got no problem with that whatsoever. The game's the game. Everyone's trying to climb the ladder, and if I'm a few steps ahead of everyone and they want to try and jump on my back, then they can try.
I know there's obviously a lot of talk about interim and regular titles and what have you, but for yourself, Fabio, will you class yourself as a world champion if you claim it?
Yeah, look, that's what it says on the belt. I'm going to take that and read it and say, yeah, okay, cool. Obviously, this is the interim, so we'll need to win the fully fledged outright and all of that, but that's something I'll be happy to take on. So yeah, once I have that in my hands, I will be classing myself as a world champion.
Just one more for everybody. What do they expect on Saturday night? What do they see when Fabio Wardley steps between those ropes?
Same thing you always get. entertainment. Don't leave your seat. You don't know when it's going to go off. You don't know when it's all going to happen and go down. It could be the first minute, 10th, whichever. First round, 10 rounds, however many. But one thing you are guaranteed on is going to be entertaining. There's going to be some fireworks.
Just a couple away from your own fight, I want to get your thoughts on which do somewhat correlate and link back to you. I'm sure you might have one close eye on the Alexander Usyk-Daniel Dubois fight. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, look, a great fight and an interesting one as well for them to kind of have their fight, separate, both go their own ways in a sense and do what they ever do and then come back around. I think that makes for a fantastic kind of story of things and it'll be a great fight and one I'm really looking forward to, because I am looking forward to seeing how Daniel's developed, what he's taken from the first fight and how he may be able to implement that or not in the second fight with Usyk.
A few people mention online that a campmate of yours, Anthony Joshua, might be in the running, not in the running, but maybe entertaining a fight with the man you were meant to fight on Saturday night, Jarrell Miller. What do you make if we were to see a Joshua Miller fight?
Yeah, look, it's still an interesting fight. I know there's that previous history of it not happening before and things. Always adds for a great little storyline. And Miller is always a strong and an awkward opponent for anyone. It's not an easy night's work for anyone at all. Obviously, there's clear and obvious ways to beat him, but it doesn't make it easy at all. So yeah, look, a fight with him and AJ to throw himself back in the mix and in the running and get his name back up there with the big boys is perfectly good, perfectly viable.
Is the Miller fight still one you want yourself because of obviously what he said in the build-up to what would have been Saturday night?
I'm not fussed on holding on to things like that. Like if he was a part of the stepping stone for me to kick on and go where I want to go. If he's off doing something else or no longer in the picture, it's not something I'm trying to force. It's not something I'm too bothered about. Unless if potentially maybe one day he grabs hold of a belt or something like that, then yeah, of course. But no, I'm not just fighting him for the sake of it. Just because he said a few nasty words about me, I couldn't care less.
Just where Dillian's no longer on the card, can you let slip as to what he's got in store?
I can't. No. He's working on something big. Look. He wants to stay active, wants to stay busy, wants to keep things going. That's why we want to get him on the card, as well as obviously it would have been a great addition. But also at the same time, we didn't want to just add him on for the sake of it, put him in front of someone and he just gets him out in a round or two. It doesn't help him, doesn't help us, doesn't help the promotion of everything. So when that wasn't looking like we were going to be able to secure him a real test or a good challenge of an opponent, we pivoted, went a different direction, and he's got other plans he's going about at the moment, so I'll let him announce that and tell you that when he's ready.
Fabio, it's a pleasure to catch up with you as always. Enjoy the rest of this week and good luck on Saturday night.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.